What's up, Speak For Yourself listeners? It's your boy Shay Sharp, co-host of FS1's Undisputed. I wanted to tell you about my new podcast, Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something. Each week, I sit down with a guest for a drink and conversation, and as host and proprietor of Club Shay Shay, I've welcomed in esteemed guests such as Snoop Dogg, Floyd Money Mayweather, LeVar Ball, Isaiah Thomas, just to mention a few. Whether I'm talking to an athlete, a musician, an actor, or a lifelong friend, Club Shay Shay is a place where people share inspiring and motivational stories about their journeys to prominence. The new episode drops every Monday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to Club Shay Shay now and make sure you never miss a new episode. Now, back to Speak For Yourself.
Welcome to Speak For Yourself. Marcel Swally here. Please save me from this dude over here off mic, off camera,
It's
Emmanuel
Friday.
Acho. You want to tell the world what you told me or no?
I just have ambitious objectives, Sal, okay? I'm just trying to be like you.
Yes, ambitious objectives in a subjective world. I look forward to seeing how that plays out
My
for you.
dog.
One day I'm going to dry snitch on him, but let's get it started in Houston, where there's still plenty of drama with the Texans. I forgot to tell you, you look good, bro. Reports say Deshaun Watson met with the team's new head coach, David Culley, last week, but he is not budging on his trade demand and still has no intention of playing in Houston again. Watson has not publicly spoken about his trade demand, but yesterday he did tweet, quote, "Loyalty is everything. Don't you ever forget it."
Ever.
So, Acho, is Deshaun Watson taking it too far?
Sal, can I start, please, with something that's been on my mind?
Your ambitions?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can still be a stand-up guy while standing up for yourself.
I like. Oh, I like it.
You can still be a stand-up guy while standing up for yourself. Deshaun Watson, is he taking it too far? Nah. He's just trying to stand up for himself. And the problem is we're not recognizing that while standing up for himself, he is still being a stand-up dude. He didn't have to take the meeting with head coach David Culley. He didn't have to. We know of Carson Wentz, my dog, Carson Wentz. Reports were out there that he wasn't even returning calls to the Eagles general manager, Howie Roseman. Like that on the surface is a much more immature approach to handling the same situation, wanting to be traded. But Deshaun Watson's like, hey, I'm going to still show up. Hey, I'm going to have this meeting as an adult, but I'm going to dig my heels into the ground and I'm not going to budge. He done said he wanted his freedom, Marcellus Wiley.
What?
He said it. He said, trade me. But they don't want to listen. So he said it louder. Trade me.
Exclamation
but
point.
They don't want to listen. So he said it louder. Trade me. And they not listening. Deshaun Watson is only matching the energy that the Houston Texans are bringing forth. So is he taking it too far? I don't think so. He's taking it as far as he has to take it to get what he wants. Right now, the Texans, they keep pushing it. He said, what Lil Wayne say? Well, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
I ain't a killer, but don't push.
That's what he said. That's what Deshaun Watson is saying. He's like, look now, I ain't that dude. But please, Texans, don't push me.
Damn, you young. You know Tupac said that first, right?
Oh, my. Wayne watches the show, though.
Oh, okay. Wayne, my dog, but still, Pac said it first. Say it with respect to the old school. And I'm old school in my thinking. And yeah, this young dude, Deshaun Watson, is taking it too damn far. Bruh is on the treadmill. He taking it far, but he ain't going nowhere. Trade me. And they like, bruh, you right here. You still here. You still a Houston Texan.
I like that.
Won't you just say it with your chest? This dude, loyalty. Kendrick like, nah, that ain't what I meant, dog. Because 4 months ago, Deshaun, there are pictures of you, Deshaun, smiling with that pen in your hand, Deshaun.
Somebody hacked his iCloud?
Hacked his iCloud. It was for our own viewing. Let's see Deshaun Watson when he was out there. Loyalty, they say. I wonder if it's loyalty when in September you're smiling, you're happy, you know, you got on your swag gear and you're sitting there in Houston, so happy to be a Texan, so happy to be a part of this organization, so happy to not only be a part of this organization, but to take it deeper, start to talk about individuals in this organization. I know that small font right there, but let me help you out. He thanks Bill O'Brien. He thanks Jack Easterby. Aren't those some of the principal figures of why this is an issue in the first place? And he took that $156 million and ran nowhere on that same ass treadmill because he's not going anywhere. My man needs to understand what loyalty really means. And that's what's sad about this. These cryptic tweets that I know your generation thinks really, hey man, the general specific. I'm hitting everybody that thinks it matters. But guess what, Deshaun? Until you can say it with your chest and have Cal McNair on the other end of that conversation respect you and agree to what you're saying, it's just you running in place.
That's a good take.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that take. But what I can't do, especially on this lovely Friday, Marcellus, is let you point a finger and not realize 1, 2, 3, in your case, 4 are pointing back at you.
Why the fourth one?
Why the fourth one? Because, Sal, I'm going to put your business out there because I do this every single day.
Man, I saved you before the show.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, you told me, Brandon, I've never been in this situation before, but I would assume when a man gets down on one knee to unveil this ring, to propose to a woman.
Which time?
We'll get there. To propose to a woman, that you probably whisper some sweet nothing.
Hell yeah, I did.
Marcellus, you probably said, you know, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. This ring was very expensive. Please don't lose it nor drop it. You probably whispered some sweet nothings on the course of that first engagement.
Yeah.
What happened? It still broke off. Not because you didn't mean what you said. You meant what you said in the moment. Stop throwing these old pictures of Deshaun back in his face.
September? Do you remember? I never got engaged and broke up that fast.
I'm saying, Sal,
Never.
like, they don't throw the old MySpace pictures y'all had together back in your face. They don't throw the old Facebook pictures from 07 back in. No, because you meant it in the moment. Deshaun meant it in the moment, but things change, Sal. His situation has gotten even worse from what it was.
Oh, worse?
Boy, was it bad.
Worse?
It got even worse, big dog. So is he taking it too far? He's a man like you or I. More so like you, because I've met him. But he said some things that he meant in the moment. He cried. I'm sure you cried when you proposed. I'm sure you
cried when I let him keep the ring.
You was like, oh, I just want to marry you. And then you was like, no, I don't. You got to change your heart. Deshaun's had to change your heart. Let's just not judge him for something you've done.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, but thank God we didn't have social media then, because I could have broke off the engagement like Deshaun wants to break off the marriage. Hey, loyalty is all I care for. And then she'd be like, why is the locks changed? The hell? That doesn't equate. That ain't the same thing. Oh, man, I have so many kids right now. Forget my fiancés. I'm married, happily married to Anna Marie. Drives me crazy in a beautiful way every single day. I love my wife, but my kids, boy, they got me watching stuff that I never saw growing up. Like, I grew up, it's amazing that everyone was watching Sesame Street and I was watching Sweet Pickles. You ever heard of, exactly. Someone clowned me one day and was like, yo, that's like the ghetto version of like Sesame Street. Like they didn't really have Big Bird, they had Golden Bird, whatever. I ain't talking to y'all right now, y'all clowning my upbringing. Here's the thing, I watched The Grinch one time and he said, the impudence, the audacity, the unmitigated gall of Deshaun Watson walking up to the Houston Texans after taking $156 million from them, after smiling, I mean, tooth to tooth. I am happy to be here. Thanking people that he didn't even need to thank. I've done this before, Deshaun. I didn't have social media. I didn't take a picture, but I signed the big deal. And guess who I didn't thank? A.J. Smith. You know why? I wasn't really that cool with AJ. John Butler was my dude. So you know how you thank people in the organization and not thank people in the organization you ain't cool with? You say, I'd like to thank Houston Texans, the city of Houston, and everyone who supported me. But when you single out the names that now all of a sudden 4 months later, that's exactly who you have beef with, I gotta call it like I see it, big dog. Deshaun Watson went to this moment of signing a contract, basically got married to Bill O'Brien, who was there, and didn't invite DeAndre Hopkins to the wedding. No DeAndre Hopkins at the wedding, no invite, and married Bill O'Brien, and 4 months later wants to get it annulled. This is the real reason I got a problem with Deshaun.
Talk to me.
Because Deshaun has not explicitly stated to us, it sounds like the organization, why are you leaving? When we can show you receipts on this, Deshaun, you like that guy. We got rid of Bill O'Brien. You like Jack Easterby. He's still here. Oh, you didn't like him then? Or you like him now? Or you don't like him now? Make it make sense, Deshaun, because right now, the dollars and cents are making sense.
I'm not. Let me ride with my dog, Marcel.
A little bit.
I call shotgun. Let me ride with my dog. I agree with you on that. Like, we live in a day and age where there are so many mediums that you can communicate through. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, TV. Speak for yourself.
Hello.
And meanwhile, Deshaun Watson has been mum the whole time. So now we're wondering, Deshaun, what's really good? Do you want to be there? Do you not want to be there? We haven't heard you say anything.
Right.
You removed them from your profile, but was that ambiguous? At first, you tweeted some ambiguous song lyrics. Now you're talking about loyalty in an ambiguous manner. Like, don't speak in a manner in which can be misconstrued.
Exactly.
So just like, if you're going to say something, big dog, say it with your chest. Y'all see the tweet up there. Loyalty is everything. Don't you ever forget it. What's that mean? Because honestly, from the outside looking in, I'm on Team Deshaun, but it looks like you're the one being disloyal. If I'm being real, and I'm on Deshaun's team. When I saw that tweet, I was like, dang, I don't like that one. That's not giving me enough ammo to fight for my dog with. So I actually ride with you there, Marcellus. However, you know this, man, because coaches have lied to you.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Coaches have lied to me.
Yeah.
So if a coach can lie, let me tell y'all, this
Story time.
The story?
Story time.
Marcellus, the reason I got beef with your old coach, my old coach, is because when he cut me, right? I got cut before Thanksgiving Day, right? And he cuts me before Thanksgiving Day, and he says, hey, Emmanuel, we really loved you on the squad. We had to make room for an extra wide receiver, but we'll bring you right back on Monday after we play the Detroit Lions. This is Thanksgiving Day game of maybe 2015 or so. Bring you right back on Monday after we play the Detroit Lions. Have a long Thanksgiving. Just consider it that. Now, I had already been cut 4 times in my career, so you know the questions to ask, right? Like, you've been lied to before, so you know the questions to ask. So I'm sitting there, I'm not even upset. I'm just like, hey, so you're really going to bring me back? He's like, yeah, of course. Long weekend, nice long vacation. It's not a big deal. Bring you back right after. You sure? Yeah, unless something crazy happens, 1 in a 1,000 chance to bring you right back. So I say, bet. Long vacation. I fly out from Philly to OC, Mark Sanchez's house. Soon as Sanchez was done, he was still on the Eagles. We was going to link up, spend Thanksgiving there. Never heard from the head coach again. So I was mad because he lied to me in the moment, but he lied to me in the moment to ease some things.
Yeah.
What did Deshaun Watson do when he said, oh, thank you, Jack Easterby. Oh, thank you, Bill O'Brien. Oh, my gosh, I'm so happy. He's lying in the moment to ease a situation. Coaches do it to players all the time. You know better than I because you played much longer than I, although I probably got lied to more than you because I was sorry. Coaches lie in the moment to ease a situation. Don't condemn Deshaun Watson now for playing the game that the coaches made the rules to. Come on, Sale. Don't do that to your boy.
Man, damn. I know where you're going. I know where Deshaun is. And the problem with it is I've been there. And when you have someone break their promise, don't let a broken promise make you compromise who you are. I've been through a lot of engagements in part because people started to compromise who they were because of past broken promises. Half of my relationships, in my 20s especially, felt like I was just digging through your ex and all the barriers that they put on you and all the barriers you settled into.
Sheesh.
So that broken promise made you compromise. So now, Deshaun, because you've been lied to, all of a sudden you're going to be lesser than who you are based on their level of ethics and morality. Stay on your level. Hey, I tell everybody all the time, I own a house on the high road, but I got an apartment on the low road. And I know I can go down there, but Deshaun, right now, it look like you're not paying rent. You mortgaging that apartment on the low road when I never thought of Deshaun Watson in this respect, in this manner.
Big dog, you almost brought, I'm in church right now crying. Somebody pass an offering bucket because I'm going to put some more time.
Donations.
Marcellus's offering.
That's trash.
Oh, man, you speaking some truth. But I have to say this. In Deshaun's perspective, it's like, are you compromising or are you learning how to adjust to deal with the nuances of life? Because it's like, okay, Sale, there's a reason if you work out for so long, if you lift weights and whatnot, you start to develop calluses.
Yeah.
You start to develop calluses. And your calluses aren't necessarily compromising the texture of your skin, but your calluses are preparing you for a situation that will reoccur.
Yeah.
You're going to continue to grip onto that bar. So is Deshaun Watson compromising or is he developing these same calluses that you and I used to develop when we was lifting them heavy weights? Is he starting to adjust to prepare for the nuances of the organization? We'll get into this later in the show. Y'all tune in. But the Seahawks were trying to move on from Russell Wilson in 2017 to get a first-round pick. The same Russell Wilson who brought him a Super Bowl just 4 years earlier. Ain't no love in this industry, bro. And if there is love, it lasts for a season, 6 months, the same season that it's lasted for Deshaun Watson. So I don't know if he's compromised or if he's calloused.
I love it. I love you. I don't know what he is, and that's the problem. Damn it, Deshaun, we wouldn't be up here on different sides of this when we both support you fully. And your agent, and your agency, and everything you represent. It tears me apart to talk about somebody I truly respect. However, I watched DeAndre Hopkins as he quote tweets the same tweet from Deshaun Watson about loyalty. And don't you ever forget it. And I question, why is this now all of a sudden avalanching? DeAndre wasn't in the same position. DeAndre just wanted his money. Houston was like, nah, we ain't gonna give you that money. Let's get rid of you a couple years early. That's not the same as Deshaun. So now Deshaun is putting himself in that ambiguous position where people like us are speaking for him, where people like this are thinking, oh, it's this, so let me quote tweet that, when that may not even be the direction Deshaun is going in. All I gotta say is, Deshaun, it's on you. Clear it up, and hopefully you get what you want. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have a lot more on Deshaun Watson. Oh, yes, we do. More tweets. We'll tell you if his trade demand is a bad look. But first, Dak Prescott's price tag could reach $40 million a year. Good Lord. We'll tell you if he's worth that much. Next on Speak for Yourself. Hey, Speak for Yourself listeners. I wanted to tell you about our brand new Fox Sports app and website, foxsports.com. Reimagined for the modern sports fan. Go ahead, download the new app now. You don't even have to pause this episode. Every day on the new app and website, you'll see the top stories in sports, plus a rich world of written content, videos, social media, and analytics to give you a 360-degree view of the most important stories of the day. Streaming live TV has never been so easy or elegant. Every Fox Sports game, including all pregame and postgame shows, are just one click away. For the extra invested fan, we also go deep with real-time wagering lines, trending prop bets, win probability, and key player projections. So download the new Fox Sports app or visit www.foxsports.com.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's talk about another quarterback who is Dak Prescott. See, the franchise tag deadline is March 9th, so we'll know really soon if Dak will be tagged for a second straight year at nearly $38 million. Reports say Dallas wants to get a long-term deal done, but that type of deal would likely make Dak the second highest paid player in the league, approaching $40 million a year. So, Marcellus, let's talk through this one.
Let's go.
Is Dak Prescott worth $40 million? Big one.
Absolutely. I remember you yesterday just talking about how the market, you can't argue with the market value because that's just what it is. And if I'm looking at Dak and his resume, I'm looking at that comp and saying, the market suggests that you should get around $40 million a year. Now, what am I using as my comp? I'm using Deshaun Watson, who we were just talking about, as my comp. Patrick Mahomes is at $45 million a year. Deshaun Watson is at $39 million a year. And this article was based off the premise of a conversation Dan Orlowski was having, your dog, that said, basically, Dak's a good player, but doesn't deserve great player money. Oh, let me ask you, Mr. Orlowski, is having the seventh highest quarterback passer rating in NFL history good or great? I ask you, Mr. Orlowski, is having the sixth most wins since you entered the league good or great? I'm not pushing back on him. I'm pushing back on the premise that Dak hasn't done some great things. And if we think Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback, then maybe we need to take a second look at who Dak Prescott is. First, before we go into the comparisons, as a real estate agent trying to sell this Dak Prescott house in this Beverly Hills adjacent neighborhood, I'm going to talk about what the Cowboys are, what the house is in the neighborhood it exists in. Who are the Cowboys with Dak? And who are they without Dak? Oh, they average 32 points a game with Dak. And without Dak, 21 points a game. 11 fewer? Oh, what about net yards per game? Good Lord. Can't even do that math. That's so much. 170 yards, passing yards per game, passer rating, third down percentage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But let's get back into my real estate agent Redfin mode, because if people don't understand the background of this, they don't understand what the dollars at play look like. Who is representing Dak Prescott? Todd France. Todd France used to be at CAA, my agency. He's not anymore. He's at Athletes First with David Mulageta. Isn't Moolah money? Oh, okay, yeah, Moolah. Because David represents Deshaun Watson. Boy, them dudes are back there sharing secrets. Smart. You're sharing secrets because you know the comps that got Deshaun Watson $39 million. And now you have the insight and are privy to knowing what could get Dak Prescott more than $39 million. Let's compare Dak to Deshaun. Because Deshaun started off on a 9-7 playoff team, and now they're a 4-12 team. Oh, man. Dak started off with a 4-12 team, and now without him, they ain't a damn thing. But he took them to 13 wins, where Deshaun has never taken his team to 13 wins. Only 11 wins. 29-27 is Deshaun's record. 42-27 is Dak's record. Which one's better? Dak. Damn. Okay. Same playoff record, but Dak has been a better performer in the same playoffs. Dak's never been snatched from a 24-0 lead either. All of that said, if I'm sharing secrets in this superpowers of agents, and then I'm going to the Dallas Cowboys with one of those super agents, I know how to get Dak that money. Because if Deshaun deserved it, Dak deserves it as well.
I'm not mad at the take. I'm not mad at the take.
You're not loving it,
I gotta see how cool David and Todd France really is if they really share secrets. I literally just hit my dog like, you and Todd France even cool, bro? I'll figure out by the end of the
They work together, I hope.
But for now, is Dak Prescott worth $40 million? No. But might he get it? Maybe. So, you go to a theme park, you go to an amusement park, you're parched. It's a hot sunny day, at least where I grew up in Dallas, Texas. You're parched. So as you walk through the theme park, finally you find a stand. And this stand is selling food, it's selling water.
Corn dogs?
It's selling corn dogs, but I don't want none of the corn dogs. Apparently, you're only supposed to eat like one corn dog a year. They're so bad for you. But nonetheless, you finally find this food stand, Marcellus Wiley, and track with me. Oh, you look there and you're like, okay, surely I need a bottle of water. Bottle of water, $5.75?
Lord.
Is the bottle of water $5.75 worth it? Absolutely not. But might I pay it? Absolutely, because the market dictates your value. You're walking through the airport, non-COVID times, and you're walking through the airport. You need a bottle of water. Bottle of water, $3.45? Is a bottle of water worth $3.45? No. But might you pay it? Yes, because the market dictates your value. I'm walking through the NFL looking at quarterbacks. Dak Prescott, $40 million? Is Dak Prescott worth $40 million? No. But might you be forced to pay it? Maybe. And I think that's where I resolve in this situation.
Okay.
$40 million would make Dak a top 2 or 3 highest paid quarterback. In no conversation, no dialogue. I don't even think Dak's family members, shout out Tad, would say that Dak Prescott is a top 3 quarterback. But $40 million would yield Dak Prescott top 3 quarterback money. Okay. So is he worth that? No. But might he get it? Sure. And as a former NFL athlete, do I hope Dak gets as much money as he can get? Absolutely. I just don't think he's worth that. Like I don't think water's worth $5.75 at no amusement park.
But who is worth it other than Patrick Mahomes? I mean, I'm not taking a shot at Deshaun Watson, but hey, I'm giving you $156 million and my team goes 4-12 and you've only won 1 playoff game. I know people who get shot at for those numbers on their resume. Let's talk about, was Matthew Stafford worth it when he was the #1 highest paid player in the league in 2017? No. What is he now? 14th ranked. Was Kirk Cousins worth it when he was first in the league? What is he ranked now? 7th. Was Matt Ryan worth it when he was first in the league? Nope. Where's he now? 10th. You know I love me Jimmy GQ. You do? But damn, Thor played 7 games and was the highest paid player. Was he worth it in 2019? Nope. Where's he now? 13th. Point is...
Speak there.
Oh, you want to go there?
Is he worth it? Because you're answering, will he get it?
No, I'm asking,
is he worth it?
Well, to me, they merge.
Okay.
Like I don't want to...
Break that down.
All right, the semantics of it is he worth it? And you're just going to sit there and have a great argument. But then you got to hit the equal sign. Well, what does the market command of it? I don't know what my house is worth. I know what somebody will pay for it after they pay for it. And guess what that's going to be based on? What they paying for other houses around me.
Okay.
The houses around them, Deshaun, the houses around him, Roethlisberger, Stafford, dog, I'm sorry, I get it. But his house is 5,000 square feet. Deshaun's was 4,999 square feet. He gonna get that money. It's just that simple. Now, the other thing about it is people got to realize that the leverage that the Cowboys lost in injury and because of Dak being #1 in the franchise records after 5 years is that no quarterback in his position leaves the team. There's not been a quarterback that has been 15 games over 500 to change teams before his 30th birthday.
Okay.
In the last 30 years. Oh, Dak's going to be the first one? No. Because I remind people, as great as Tom Brady is, and he has the resume, he has the accolades, he has the Super Bowl championships, in terms of performance at the quarterback passer rating level, 97.3. Wonder what Dak's quarterback rating is. Oh, 97.3. The exact same as Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. He doesn't have everything Tom Brady has. He doesn't have everything Tom Brady possesses. But still, he has done some things that Dan Orlovsky doesn't think is great that I will push back on.
But let me dive in here. Sal, on Valentine's Day, I made a reservation. I made a reservation
two?
at a restaurant.
For two?
For two, but unfortunately I was by myself. No, anyway, I can't reveal all my secrets. Made a reservation, and so I was gonna go to the spot until I looked at the prices. I said, woo,
What happened?
Expensive. And here's the problem, Sal. I saw some reviews and some people spoke highly of said restaurant, but I looked at it and I said, just because everybody else overpays, it don't mean Emmanuel Lacho going to.
You must don't like her that much. Say it.
I don't. Just because everybody else want to overpay for quarterbacks,
good point.
I think Jerry Jones is at a space where he's like, it don't mean I got to. Oh, you overpaid for Matthew Stafford, Lions? That's on y'all. Oh, you overpaid for Matt Ryan, Falcon? That's on y'all. Oh, you overpaid for Carson Wentz? Oh, you overpaid for Jared Goff? That's on y'all. But just because y'all overpaid, it don't mean I got to overpay. And Jerry Jones is also looking at himself and the mistakes, if you want to call them that, he's made, or you ain't got to call them that. Look at Dak Prescott versus Tony Romo, Jerry Jones' beloved.
Don't do that. I'm looking at it right now.
Very, very, very eerily similar. Completion percentage within 0.7 of each other. Passing yards per attempt within 0.2 of each other. Winning percentage, Tony Romo 61, Dak Prescott 61, rounded up, within 0.05 of each other. Playoff wins, it's the same thing. Romo was 2-4, Dak is 1-2. What did Jerry have to get for that? Jerry made Romo the highest paid. 2013 he did. Tony Romo went 12-3 the next year, went 3-1 the next year, fractured his back, he's out the league. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Dak. Romo was 32, he became the highest paid. Dak Prescott trying to be 26, 27 is the highest paid. But I'll say this. Jerry's already made a quarterback the highest paid in regards to guaranteed money. That was Tony Romo. Jerry's made a quarterback the highest paid, and he ain't really get anything out of it. So can you even fault Jerry Jones if he's like, hey, I've already overpaid once for the property. I don't want to overpay for a property again, big dog.
Yeah, but look, the reason why you walk through that theme park and spend $9 on a water bottle is convenience tax. They got you locked in. They got the leverage. It's not even about how much water is worth. Water's free. It's natural. Like, shut up. Right now it's 117 degrees, and you sweating water. You better lick that or buy that. And guess what? Jerry Jones is sitting there saying all the things he wants to in his head. Oh, we had a deal before, and then he get this new super agent, and he doesn't want to sign it. Oh, I paid Romo before, and it didn't work out. So you're never going to pay again? Oh, I had a bad meal. I'm never going to eat again? What the hell is Jerry talking about? So I'm sorry for that young lady, too, that didn't get that meal out of you. Boy, she learned something new today. If you're Jerry Jones, you got to look at it like he got you trapped. You in Dak's world. This is the theme park you're playing in now.
That's real.
Because it's with or without Dak. I already showed you that full screen. How about other players that are sitting there saying, yeah, Jerry, pay Dak, because the rides are smoother with Dak. The rides are faster with Dak. They are more exhilarating with Dak. How about Ezekiel Elliott? You think he wants Dak to get paid? Because look at his yards per game average with Dak and without Dak. 107 to 78. CeeDee Lamb, 89 to 51. Amari Cooper, 84 to 64. Michael Gallup, 69 to 45. Everybody's like, yo, if you don't pay for him, we are not going to be worth what you already paid for us. It makes no sense. So you got something to push back on that?
Just a little something.
You want some of this water?
What you charging for? Remember that game, was it whack-a-mole, where you try to hit one of them things and nothing moves, try to hit another thing and nothing moves? If Dak Prescott were to get this $38 or $40 million, get tagged or get the $40 mil, he's going to command 14% of the salary cap.
That's a whole lot.
That's a whole lot of money. Yeah. You haven't seen a quarterback win a Super Bowl commanding that much money since, I believe, Eli Manning, maybe. And Eli actually, as I look at my notes, only commanded 11.7. Peyton Manning commanded 12. Tom Brady, 13. On average, if you win a Super Bowl, you're commanding 8 to 9% of your salary cap as a quarterback. So Dak Prescott, get all this money if you want to, but then you're going to end up like Russell Wilson in 2 years. Man, I'm running for my life, my offensive line, I'm getting hurt, I'm getting hit. Well, yeah, Dak, because we gave you all this bread.
Yeah.
So I don't know if making Dak Prescott this $40 million man is the answer, because my last thing on this last app is this. I'm going to offer y'all something y'all haven't thought about, and it's not your fault. We just haven't pushed it.
Okay.
What if Jerry Jones, Will McClay, director of pro personnel for the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, Stephen Jones, what if they actually do a great job building up a roster so quarterbacks can succeed? Like, be real.
They have a roster, yeah?
Be real. Tony Romo, sure, he was great. Not going to take nothing away from Tony, but, like, the Cowboys were stacked. Best offensive line probably 5 years straight, drafting all-pros like Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick. For 5 straight years, the Cowboys had 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen consecutively. Okay, you also draft Des Bryant. Okay, you also draft and retain Jason Witten. So I'm not just going to, as much criticism as we give Jerry Jones, and a lot of it is earned, I'm not going to turn a blind eye to the fact of he put Dak in a prime situation. He put Romo in a prime situation. Andy Dalton, the last 6 weeks of the season, after he came back from the concussion and COVID, he had a 66% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 5 picks, 95 passer rating, 4-3 win-loss record. Dak Prescott, the last 6 weeks of the season last year. Let's try to compare apples to apples. Dak was 3-4. Andy Dalton, I told y'all, 4-3. Dak 61% completion percentage. Andy Dalton 66. Now Dak 12-2 touchdown to interception ratio. All that to say, I'm not comparing Andy Dalton to Dak because Andy Dalton's not as good as Dak. But let's just be honest. Jerry Jones, Will McClay, Stephen Jones have put any quarterback in a good position to succeed. Dak, make sure you count your blessings as well.
Yeah, but God, man, let's torture your example. They're at the theme park. They go up there with Tony Romo. They keep giving them tickets. You know, when you got to shoot into that small-ass rim, the ball bigger than the rim. And here, Romo, miss. And then finally, they just sitting there looking at this kid. They just get fourth rounder. Here, man, here's $5. Yeah. Now you're not going to get a kid the same amount of money to get some more prizes? Oh, no. You're not mad at Deshaun when he sit up there and get all his money. And I remind people, I'm not taking a shot at Deshaun. I just love comps. Dak has a higher regular season winning percentage than Deshaun. What? Dak and Deshaun have the same winning percentage in the playoffs, but Dak is a better playoff performer. And Dak and Deshaun both have led their teams to 25 points per game. They're as prolific as each other. You mean Dak and Deshaun both can light up the scoreboard the exact same amount? So if you get 156, Deshaun, woo! All the way up for you, Dak Prescott. Coming up, Russell Wilson has vented a lot this offseason. Boy, hasn't he? But we'll tell you if we like how he's handled his frustration. That's next on Speak for Yourself, Theme Park Edition.
Hey, Speak for Yourself listeners. It's Charlotte Wilder here to tell you about my new podcast with Mark Titus called the People's Sports Podcast. It comes out every Thursday, and Mark and I take one of the big stories of the week, and then we go off on tangents you never saw coming. This might mean that we start talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series and end up wondering if Knicks fans deserve happiness. Or begin with LeBron's greatness and end up drafting our ultimate beer league softball team made up of old athletes. Whatever it is, the only rule of the show is that it has to be fun and funny, because these days we could all use as many laughs as we can get. So check it out wherever you get your podcasts and come down weird sports rabbit holes with us. We can't wait to have you. Now, back to Speak for Yourself.
Welcome back. Russell Wilson has gotten a lot off his chest this offseason, including having more of a say on personnel decisions and saying he's getting hit too much. This has sparked a lot of trade speculation, but yesterday reports say Wilson's agent said he has not requested a trade and wants to stay in Seattle. But he added 4 teams Russ would go to if a move happened. So, Acho, you like how Russell Wilson has handled this frustration this offseason?
So I don't mind it, big dog.
You don't mind?
I don't, because if I text Marcellus Wiley, if I text you, big bro, and you don't text me back, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call you.
That's it?
That's it. I'm gonna call you.
You ain't thinking between that call, like, why he ain't hit me back?
I text him, and he ain't hit me back, so I'm gonna call him. You don't pick up that? I'm gonna FaceTime you, big dog.
You do.
I'm gonna FaceTime you.
Stop doing it, too.
I'm gonna FaceTime you.
I'm with the
if
wife.
you don't do that, you know what you're gonna hear? Hey, Sam. Hey, open up.
You know what you're gonna hear? What you want? What you need?
That's what's going to happen, because I'm going to keep raising my aggression until I get your attention.
That's real.
That's what I'm going to keep doing.
I like
I'm going to text you, then I'm going to call you, then I'm going to FaceTime you. Eventually, you're going to hear the knock on your door. Open up! Anna Marie, I know you're there. Because I'm going to keep raising my aggression until I get your attention. That's what's happening in Seattle, big dog. AP Carroll, can I get some help? Can I get either some offensive line? Can you solidify that? Some defensive help. We went from first in the league 2 consecutive years. Then we dropped to third. Then we looked up. We were 16th and we were 22nd. What's Pete Carroll? Can I get some help, big dog? Oh, no. Hey, John Snyder, general manager. Can I get some? Oh, no. A word? Bet. Okay. Hey, America. My offensive line is sorry. I'm tired of getting hit. Hey, America. I need some help defensive. Hey, America. I want a little more decision-making in my offensive coordinator, because what starts as a whisper will turn into a yell if ignored. And I can't be mad if they start yelling if I whisper your name. Big dog, if you grow up in an African house, you're going to hear some yelling. I'm going to take y'all back.
Let me hear it is.
You're going to hear some yelling. Because at first, if my dad is calling for me, my Nigerian name is Chinedu. Y'all know this. I'll tell you.
Say it again. What?
Chinedu. Chinedu. We'll work on it after the show.
That sounds like a basketball game. Say it again. Chinedu.
So if my dad is calling me from downstairs and I'm upstairs on the video game, be like, Chinedu, I don't hear nothing. Chinedu, I don't hear nothing. Next thing you hear, Nedu. That's why you don't hear the whole house just furniture moving. And it's like, because what started at a whisper will turn into a yell if it doesn't get your attention. Russell Wilson was whispering. It didn't get Pete Carroll's attention. He began using his indoor voice. It didn't get John Snyder's attention. Now he's yelling because everybody about to hear what Russell Wilson has to say.
Chinedu, Chinedu, Chinedu. You should have told me that. Chinedu, Chinedu, Chinedu. My mama used to say, boy, and I mean, that meant for everybody in the neighborhood, including you, first with you. Damn, we need to go back to those days. Child Protection Services messed it up. All right, here we go. I got a problem with Russell Wilson. I got a problem how he's handling his frustration. As you said in the beginning of the show, 3 fingers are pointing back at Russell Wilson every time he tries to point the blame on something or someone else. And then 1 finger is pointing out at what he's actually trying to intend and target. And then 1's up. This is how it goes. That's for the universe. Like, hey, man, that's just how life goes. This is for, Pete Carroll is to blame a little. But damn, who's to blame the most? You, Russell Wilson. How dare you try to shoot at Pete Carroll when Pete Carroll like, man, I'm the one that started this gangsters. And this is the thanks I get? Woo, hello. Pete's philosophy is let's always compete. Pete's philosophy got them into the Super Bowl, and they won. Pete's philosophy got them into the Super Bowl the next year, and they lost. And you know why they lost? Because Pete went away from his philosophy and didn't run the ball. Said, because Russell Wilson, because I love you so much, you little third-round cutie. I know you're going to be great one day. I'm going to take care of you. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw you to the wolves right now. You ready? Yeah. You remember how Simba roared the first time? Wow. And he was like, yeah. And he threw him to the wolves on the goal line, and Russell threw the ball to the other team. And then Pete Carroll said, Then next thing you know, Pete Carroll's chilling. He like, we're going to just slowly go back to Pete Carroll's philosophy. Run the football, play strong defense, and then we're going to explode on offense. Not always let Russ cook. Then Pete Carroll just sitting there in his office doing game plans, and all of a sudden, let Russ cook. And he lets him cook. And that was the only year Russell Wilson and the Seahawks did not make the playoffs. He was reminded again, do it the Pete Carroll way. And then this year, all of a sudden again, my boy Brian Schottenheimer and them cooking up something different. Hey, no, we finally got the recipe down. Let Russ cook. And they started off on fire, 5-0. Started off on fire first 8 games. Then all of a sudden you started to see, somebody didn't pay the gas bill. Damn, stove's going off. Damn. Let Russ cook. What's that smell? Russell Wilson. Immediately following the postseason, if you want to call this a performance, dude threw for 40%. In a playoff game, he threw for 40%. And the first thing he wants to do is talk about others. I remind you that the pressure percentage against this same team was the 2nd highest when they won the Super Bowl and the highest when they could have won the 2nd Super Bowl, but Russell Wilson threw the pick. And this year, it was 7th. Actually better than it was any of the times they won Super Bowls. I hate blame game, and I hate when somebody gets caught up. And right now, this hurts a little to say, but Russell Wilson is caught up.
But Sal, he's built enough capital in the organization to make this ass. Let me tell you what I mean.
How?
Sal, a year ago this time, people didn't used to ask me for nothing. My phone was dry. Wasn't nobody hitting your boy up. Hey, nobody needed anything. It was fine. I preferred it that way. But all of a sudden, you start to get to connected with some powerful players. You release a book. You get a little bit more of a following. Now, everybody asking me for stuff. And they asking me for freebies. And you know what's crazy? When I can, I do it. I do a lot of favors if I can. But I'm keeping track of the favors I'm doing because I'm building up capital. And y'all best believe I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask for them favors because them freebies ain't free. Russell Wilson, Marcellus, his 2nd season in the league. He built up capital, won the Seahawks a Super Bowl. Then the Seahawks had a bottom half defense in the National Football League, but he still kept them afloat, leading them to 11, 10 wins, making the playoffs. Built up capital. This year, 26 total defense, still made the playoffs. He's built up, Sal, enough capital, whereas now he's cashing in. A bunch of people owe him. John Snyder, building up a roster with deficiencies on defense after letting Earl Thomas walk. after letting, Cam Chancellor had to retire due to injury, but after letting different people, Richard Sherman, make moves. So Russell Wilson's built up enough capital to now say, wait a second, y'all owe me this. And if y'all don't want to give it to me, I'm going to voice my opinion to let everybody know y'all owe me this.
Man, they already took care of you. They owe you jack, Russell Wilson. They gave you the highest contract in NFL history at the time, $35 million. And they still owe you? God, this generation different. Y'all greedy as hell. And especially when, man, what does Snoop say? Everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in. He showed up to the Super Bowl. He didn't chip in on that Super Bowl like, Marshawn Lynch, the Legion of Boom. Like, they are the ones that were the engines behind that Super Bowl, right? The next year, Russell Wilson wasn't even as good as he was the year that they won the Super Bowl. But still, he had his cup, wanting to chip in. All right, 26-9, Russell Wilson was the Super Bowl winning year. 20-7 touchdown interceptions the year he threw the interception, and they lost the Super Bowl. This year, 40 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Some would say greater numbers, but not greater results. So what's your cup doing there, still out after we gave you the highest paid contract, which comes with a consequence of other parts around you, other resources being depleted. Russell Wilson, dog, I'm telling you what my coach, Mike Boyle, said, world-renowned coach, too. Don't show up to practice on the red carpet. Russell Wilson going Hollywood right before our eyes, and we are watching it happen. More focused on his Q rating than his QB rating. Hey, bruh, I'm sorry to say this about you, Russell Wilson, but until you realize that you are a principal part of all of the issues around you, including the offensive line, the greatest offensive lineman ever is a decisive quarterback. Russell Wilson, you back there running around in circles and then blaming the O-line for not protecting you? Maybe they can't protect somebody who can't protect themselves.
I respect this, Sal. I'm not mad, and everything you said was right, fair, and accurate.
Okay.
But I'll provide just one more perspective, which is the perspective of
what?
Russell Wilson knows how the game is played. Been in the league going on 10 years, won a Super Bowl, had some high highs, had some minor lows. Walter Payton Man of the Year. So Russell Wilson understands, hey, the Seahawks will get rid of me as well. Again, I'll take y'all back if y'all missed it. 2017, Seahawks missed the playoffs. So all of a sudden, they're wondering, should we trade Russell Wilson to the Cleveland Browns for that #1 overall pick that the Browns end up using on Baker Mayfield? Russell Wilson knows these lyrics, which I love and I live by. I've said this before. All I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. The Seahawks outdrew Russell Wilson in 2017. Oh, maybe we should trade him. Okay. Russell Wilson's like, did they just pull out? Did they just? He felt like you in Compton. Did they just pull out? So he's now trying to shoot the Seahawks because the Seahawks already outdrew himself, and I can't fault my guy for that one. Coming up, Houston still has a big Deshaun Watson problem.
Yeah.
We'll tell you if the trade demand is a bad look for the QB. That's next. Speak for yourself.
You got a problem coming through Compton now. Watch it speak for yourself. I am Marcelo Swally. Hi. Emmanuel Acho in the building. Hello. Whatever. Chinedu. What'd you say your name?
Chinedu.
Damn, I swear Duke said that before when they were down 2. Tina. All right, let's head back to Houston, where Deshaun Watson met with the Texans' new head coach, David Culley, last week. But reports say he is sticking to his trade demand and does not plan on playing in Houston again. Wow. Watson tweeted yesterday, quote, "Loyalty is everything. Don't you ever forget it." But remember, Watson signed a massive 4-year, $156 million extension back in September. So, Acho, is Deshaun Watson's trade demand a bad look?
Not at all, in my opinion. I think Deshaun Watson's trade demand actually shows the wisdom he's garnered at a young age.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Deshaun Watson has been in Houston over the course of J.J. Watt's career, and what's J.J. Watt have to show for it? 3 individual accolades, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, but he never advanced to an AFC championship game. Deshaun Watson watched Andre Johnson's career in Houston. What's Andre Johnson have to show for it? A Hall of Fame career, individual accomplishments, but 2 playoff wins. Deshaun Watson watched Arian Foster's career. Arian Foster was dominant as a running back for a very long time in that system. But what does Arian Foster have to show for it? 2 playoff wins. It's not a bad look for Deshaun, not this trade demand, because Deshaun has just garnered the wisdom of, I'm not going to go down on this sinking ship. Like, nobody has to live the life I have to live. And y'all going to get y'all's jokes off when y'all look at the end of my career if I stay in Houston and I only ever go to the playoffs 5 times or only ever win 4 playoff games. Y'all are going to criticize me for that. So either way, y'all gonna criticize me. Let y'all criticize me in the way that yields the most success individually and collectively for me, and that doesn't appear to be in the Houston Texans organization. It wasn't a bad look when J.J. Watt asked to be released. It wasn't a bad look when Matthew Stafford asked to be traded. It wasn't a bad look when Carson Wentz asked to be traded. It's not a bad look right now when Deshaun Watson is like, hey, this ship doesn't appear to be going where I want to go. Y'all do you, just do it without me.
Man, I have to disagree with that. This is a bad look for Deshaun Watson because for the first time, even myself had to look at him differently than before. That resume was pristine. And I'm not talking about the resume in performance on the field. I'm talking about in character. I'm talking about in reputation. Like almost the honorable Walter Payton Man of the Year every year was Deshaun Watson, being real. I won that award 3 different times for 3 different teams. And I know what it takes to even be that guy in reputation. And Deshaun Watson was that plus some in reputation. Not anymore. He's become a little polarizing because if you look at the fan base, they're split. Some are saying, yeah, Deshaun, you deserve better. And some are saying, you keep talking about loyalty. You just signed with us in September. And I remind you that timing is everything. And this is bad timing to ask for a way out when you just asked for all the money to stay still. I remind you that none of the contract situations you just talked about, Carson Wentz or J.J. Watt, none of those guys just signed 4 months prior and said, now I want to reverse course. That's why this looks bad to me. He used to be the poster child for high character. Going back to the Warwick Dunn story that we waxed poetically about and how he stayed in the home that Warwick Dunn had purchased for his home and now for his family, and now he can purchase that same home for his mom and his family, etc. Now you look at Deshaun Watson just with a little bit of peculiarness. Like, why this after that? Why would you go out there and say, thanks to Cal McNair? These are quotes. Deshaun Watson has a picture with him signing a $156 million extension and then pointing. This is for real. This is a good picture. That there, right there. That's him. And what he wrote here is thanks to Cal McNair, who he's beefing with now. The entire McNair family. Coach O'Brien. You married Coach O'Brien? Okay. Jack Easterby and the whole Texans organization. And then 4 months after that, you want to say, thanks, but no thanks to all those people plus some. Which one is real? Because it doesn't add up.
That's a great point. That's a segue into where I want to go. I need the wide because I need to talk to my dog.
Oh, you want to see me in there?
I need the jib.
It ain't as much of me to see. You know what I'm saying?
I have to ask you a question for demonstration purposes.
Okay.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's trade demand is a bad look. I think it depends on what lens you look at it through.
Okay.
It's selfish on both ends. What lens are you looking at it through? I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to have you answer. Now, so I'm going to hold up my right hand with the palm open, right? Mm-hmm. I'm holding up the right hand with the palm open. Now, close one of your eyes and point it where you see my hand with your right hand. Great. Now, switch which eye you have open, and now where you see it.
It moved.
Exactly right.
What happened?
Nothing changed in the picture. It's just what lens were you looking at it through. So we can all look at the same Deshaun Watson picture, but whose lens are you looking at it through? If you look at it through the lens of Deshaun Watson, then it's not a bad look that he's demanding a trade if you look at it from his perspective. If you look at it through the lens of the owner, then it is a bad look because now Deshaun Watson's being selfish.
Like it.
Both parties are being selfish. It's just a matter of what lens are you looking at it through because that'll dictate where you point the blame. Well, I'm going to point to Greg Jennings and bring in him, the NFL analyst, to get his opinion on things. So, G,
that's it.
Is Deshaun Watson's trade demand a bad look, my guy?
It's not a bad look, and I like that lens analogy. When you look at it from a player's perspective, it's never in question or a bad look when a team decides to eject themselves from a contract negotiation that is under contract with the player, meaning I can cut ties with you when and if I decide to. You have no say. Well, in Deshaun Watson's perspective and in his stance, he's in a pretty good position. They really need him. He's a really good player. He's a young player. He's arguably one of the best at his position. And so right now is the time that you would be able to say what you want and what you don't want. And what he does not want is to continue losing the way that he's gone about it with that organization that he sees no vision. He sees no future success. He sees no plan of attack, and he's unwilling to even listen to now all of what you think you're going to say you're going to do when I've endured all of that. I'm done, and I don't have any reasons to tell you other than I just don't want to be here anymore, and you haven't been loyal. You told me that you were going to allow me to have some say. That didn't happen. I'm disgruntled, and I'm fine with you. Everybody saying, you know what? He has a reason to, or he shouldn't be because of his contract. Well, I will say this. Marcellus, you are married.
Yes.
You have been engaged before, correct?
A couple times, few times.
A couple times.
A whole lot.
You know people who have gotten, you know people who have been divorced. Mm-hmm. We all do. And from Acho's perspective, when he talks about that lens, we can judge them. We can state our opinion, but we've never been in that relationship. We've only heard about what they've done. So when I say somebody comes up to me and say, man, I'm getting a divorce, I can say all I want to try to keep him included in that marriage or a part of that marriage. But once that decision is made up, once what has been violated in their perspective, from their lens, from their seat, is non-negotiable any longer, then they're done.
Talk that talk,
There's
G.
nothing I can do.
Talk that talk.
There's nothing I can say.
Man, Greg up here preaching. I ain't mad at that, even though your kids dressed you today. You look good, big dog. Let me tell you something. Don't like what you said fully, but you were preaching to us.
You so sad. No, you're so disrespectful.
I am.
Gee, don't let him get away with that.
I'm a petty king.
Nah, it don't look like your kids drew on your shirt, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Daddy, what's this marker do? Hey, man, look, chill. Let me say, Acho got us up here closing our eyes and all that. Look like Deshaun closed his eyes and just say, I'm going to sign anywhere. Where should I sign? Just give me my money. He didn't give a damn where he was committing to. What? And we're going to let that just go somewhere? Let me take this somewhere personal for me, because I remember coaches saying, hey, Wiley, either be the reason, or bleep the excuses. And I don't want to hear all these excuses. Where Deshaun Watson going to go that's going to be so much greater if he's not the reason? Tom Brady's had contract issues. Tom Brady's been disgruntled before. And Tom Brady played them contracts out. Aaron Rodgers, good Lord. Deshaun Watson trying to pull something Aaron Rodgers can't even pull. Aaron Rodgers still sitting there saying, hey, man, trying to make it work, trying to get my power, but still playing out his deal. I digress. Let me take it back to my story. This is why I'm really having an issue with Deshaun Watson, because I believe in his greatness on the field, where it could all of a sudden become a rallying cry for free agents and for the guys he plays with to perform better. He can be the reason instead of all the excuses that we're starting to hear right now. So my coach at Columbia, now he knew that Columbia was a dark horse in terms of my football pursuits, but he also knew that I really respected my academics and balanced it out, and I was a true athlete student first. So Columbia had a shot despite that I was getting recruited to these big football factories. But I told y'all this story before, and I'm sitting there in the Empire State Building with the backdrop, New York skyline, and our coach sitting there, Ray Tellier, said, look, do you want to go somewhere and carry the torch, or do you want to stay here and light the torch? All I got to say, Greg, man, is damn, Deshaun, why don't you just stay there and light the torch? But you want to go somewhere else and carry it. Good luck, because you may not know how much you got to carry when you get there, Greg.
That's fine. He's willing to carry it, and it seems like you're willing to carry the Houston Texans on their back as their attorney representative. The way you're dressed today, comments you're making. So I will say this. Because, I mean, you're firing at all cylinders on Deshaun. You're attacking the man's character, talking about his resume, and I thought he was one of the good guys, and I thought he was going to comply. I thought he was going to always say, yes, I will, and yes, I can, just for you guys, because I signed on the dotted line. Well, guess what? I don't any longer agree with what is going on. I don't even care for it. And so I understand I signed on that dotted line, but it's beyond that. I'm willing to give you back whatever you need for me to go, because I just want to go. However it needs to happen, just get me out of here. I don't want to be a part of it. So you can bring your attorney. You can represent the Texans all you want to. You can tell us all the reasons why he has to stay. but he doesn't have to put that uniform on if he chooses not to.
See, look, I'm back in court now. You don't got me fired up, boss. I just want you to know one thing, Deshaun Watson. Since you committed to a situation that you don't want to commit to, it comes with repercussions. It comes with consequences. And it's not about the sentiments out there. It's about the actions. Are you committed to losing $2 million just in the preseason alone in 2021? Oh, you are. Are you committed to losing all those game checks that you will lose next year? Oh, you are. But I want to remind you, Deshaun Watson, that you don't have the power in this conversation because you signed off on that leverage. Now, your contract freezes if you don't play. So you want to come back next year, and we're going to be right back here. This is called treadmill running. This is called, I think I'm going somewhere, but I'm still in the same place, still in my living room, upset. All he's doing right now is kicking up dust, but I don't see where he has the hammer, the leverage, and maybe not even the fortitude to fully execute this. I'm not taking shots at Deshaun. I'm just saying, what is your course of action outside of vague tweets? That's not going to get Cal McNair to trade you away. So you give me something since you want to be the representative of the plaintiff. But in this situation, I'm going to defend the Texans because the Texans are sitting there with that hammer.
Well, I will say this as Deshaun Watson's representative, and I'll be short and sweet, Acho. What hurts me hurts you. Because if my pockets are hurting because I've decided not to come in, well, then, my friend, you hurt as well because you don't have my talents. You don't have my production.
Your Honor,
goodbye.
Your Honor, all I got to say, Your Honor, is if I'm Cal McNair speaking from a client, Deshaun, I'm not going to help you hurt me. And last time I checked, NFL franchises make their money wins or losses. Deshaun, you're not affected the bottom line like you think. Coming up, Jerry Jones said Dak Prescott is their future. But we'll tell you if they should consider trading for Russell Wilson. That's next on our next block of People's Court. Speak for yourself.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Russell Wilson's agent says the QB has not requested a trade from the Seahawks, according to reports. But if it got to that point, he would welcome a move to the Bears, the Raiders, the Saints, or America's team. How about them Cowboys? Now, Dallas has a quarterback situation of their own going on, with March 9th franchise tag deadline quickly approaching, and their decision on what to do with that dude, Dak Prescott. Greg Jennings is back with us, but Marcellus, you up first.
I'm that dude.
You were that dude.
You ain't never lied. Look at my tie bar. I was that dude.
Get your tie bar straight before you give your take. Give your take on Dak Prescott.
I look broke.
Sal, should the Cowboys consider trading for Russell Wilson?
Hell nah, trading for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not going to fix the Dallas Cowboys issues. As the only one up here who's a former Dallas Cowboy, I can tell you that playing for the Dallas Cowboys comes with a level of star power that no other team in the league possesses. I'm going to be real. I had a bad year in Dallas and still felt the bump in that Q rating. I like to look at Dallas like it's this big pot of grease and everything is always popping. Everything's always bubbling. Y'all want to put Russell Wilson in that pot of grease? Add some of that water to that pot of grease. You ever put some water in a pot of grease? Got fireworks everywhere. You know why? Because Russell Wilson is not focused just on football anymore. He's in the brand building right now. We're talking about a guy who's going to come out there. Dak Prescott building football fields in his backyard. What's your boy Russell Wilson over there doing? Worrying about his GQ model portfolio and building building studios for Sierra's next single. Like, this ain't the same dude. And I'm going to tell you why he's not the same dude, because y'all thinking of Russell Wilson at the height of his powers and peak powers. And some would say that was this year. Oh, but let me show you this full screen right here and telling you why. Getting rid of Dak Prescott, you might not get much in return. Look at the win-losses between these two. Uh-oh. That's pretty close. Look at the playoff win-losses. Man, Russell Wilson, what's going on with you? Team points per game. Or you mean we basically the same with both guys? Completion percentage. Don't tell me Dak's more accurate than Russell Wilson, who throws the best deep ball. Yes, he is. And yards per game in combination. And more importantly, when you see all these stats, and you're like, damn, either Dak is better or just there with Russell Wilson. More importantly, Dak Prescott, 27, Russell Wilson, 32. So right now, I'm going to keep this one short because I want y'all to digest that right now. Trading Dak Prescott for Russell Wilson not only is a lateral move, there's some suggestion that that's a backwards.
That's crazy. It's talking crazy. Yes, the Cowboys should absolutely consider
You don't believe that. Start over again. You don't believe that.
Start over. C, the Cowboys should absolutely consider trading for Russell Wilson.
Sure.
And I don't know about the nuances that would make it happen, but if the Cowboys acquired Russell Wilson, you can go ahead and pencil them into the NFC Championship game. Here is why. Dak Prescott's record in one-score games, he's 3-8. Russell Wilson's record in one-score games, 18-5. Emmanuel, why in the world would you lead with that statistic?
Please tell us.
Because 25% or 4 games each season are decided by one score or less, meaning that 8-8 Cowboys team, which they perpetually have been over the last decade and change, is now a 12-4 Cowboys team. That 9-7 Cowboys team is now a 13-3 Cowboys team. But if you want a more pressing or pertinent example, the Cowboys played the Seahawks this past season. It was a one-score game. The Cowboys went into the fourth quarter down by 2. It was 30-28. Dak Prescott got the ball with 10 minutes remaining. Dak Prescott marched the Cowboys down the field, and he got a field goal. Cowboys are now winning 31-30. Russell Wilson gets the ball down by 1. 4 minutes left. He marches the team down the field. He gets the touchdown plus a 2-point conversion. It's 38-31. The Cowboys have the football. Dak Prescott, you got 2 minutes. March down the field, go tie the game up, maybe even win it. Dak Prescott marches down the field and throws an interception. If you recall watching that game, the answer is very simple. Put Russell Wilson on the Cowboys to start the fourth quarter, the Cowboys would have won. Put Dak Prescott on the Seahawks to start the fourth quarter, the Cowboys would have won with Russell Wilson at the helm. 4 games, or 25%, are decided by one score or less every year. Russell Wilson, 18-5 in those games. Dak, 3-8 in those games. Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback, but we would all be ignorant or biased to think that Dak Prescott is better than Russell Wilson.
Well, they ain't going to the NFC Championship game because they bet not go get Russell Wilson. I'm with you, Wally.
Don't do that.
This is, everybody makes it seem like, oh yeah, let's just go get Russell Wilson because he's so much better. But the reality is the Dallas Cowboys, to your point, Marcellus, they need more than just that type of production at the quarterback position. The stats were there. Marcellus showed them clearly. Dak Prescott gives you that. He gives you the leadership. He gives you the alpha male in the locker room, on the football field. He understands all of that. And I just don't like the idea of everybody thinking that this is so simple and that he would just eliminate all the woes of the Dallas Cowboys, he being Russell Wilson. That is not the case. If that were the case, my friend Acho, why did the Seattle Seahawks not make it to the NFC Championship game this year? Because he's automatically going to catapult the Dallas Cowboys to get there, and they weren't even a playoff team. Well, he was on a playoff team, but he still didn't make it to the NFC Championship game. Make that make sense to me.
Oh, I will make it make sense, my brother. That's what I currently do in society in large right now. I try to make things make sense for some people that can't previously understand them. So I am glad to do that in this sports arena. Now, where do I start? I got so many places to start, but Greg, let's just dial some things in real quick. Dak Prescott walked into a great situation with the Dallas Cowboys. We all know that. Offensive line was great. Jason Witten was still younger. Des Bryant was still doing his thing. And you had a first-round running back. Bear in mind, what did Russell Wilson walk into, Greg Jennings? Now, rock with me because you're an incredibly intelligent person. The NFC West, the conference division, rather, that the Seahawks are in, they are one of 2 divisions, Greg, where every team has made it to a NFC championship game since Russell Wilson was there. Every single team. It is inarguable that the NFC West is the toughest division in football since Russell Wilson showed up. Niners, 2 Super Bowls. Rams, 1 Super Bowl. Seahawks, 2 Super Bowls. Since Russell Wilson showed up, the Cardinals even made it to an NFC championship game. It's inarguable. So in the midst of that, since Russell Wilson showed up, he's made it to the playoffs every year but one. Greg Jennings in the toughest division in football. Now track with me, Greg, because you said explain it to you. You're telling me the Cowboys could have a team with Russell Wilson and be in a division with a quarterback named Daniel Jones, a quarterback named question mark for the Eagles, and a quarterback named question mark for Washington. That's 6 guaranteed wins. Guaranteed. 6-0 off rip. Before you even count the rest of the wins, we all do this for those watching at home. We kind of mark up the games we know we going to win, and then we see, okay, we probably going to beat them. Depends on what happens in the offseason. That's 6 guaranteed wins, G. So, yes, you can go ahead and pencil the Cowboys in. It's not that Dak is bad. No, Dak is a top 10 quarterback. But we already know where Russell Wilson falls. That's top 3. That's top 4, period.
Okay, so you talked about this, but you really didn't go into depth, and you're making me understand. That's why I got my notepad. I got my notepad because I'm trying to take notes from the all ever so indulging Emmanuel Acho. So you said Dak Prescott walked into a great situation.
Yes, sir.
Marcellus, what was Russell Wilson's situation when he got to Seattle?
He wasn't supposed to be the starter.
He wasn't supposed to be the man. He was supposed to be chilling.
He was supposed to be chilling. What happened in his first 3 years of being in the Seattle uniform?
Super Bowl win, Super Bowl loss, balling out of control.
And was that credited to him and his performance? No. It was because he walked into a great situation, just like Dak Prescott. So what my point is saying is, look, you can make all these elaborate statistics and points about how great and how he will elevate the Dallas Cowboys. The reality is if he were that great, we would be talking about him being a Super Bowl champion, not once, but twice, not just having 2 NFC championship appearances, but 3, 4, or 5, because he's that great and he can elevate the team. Look at the back half of just this season and this season alone. What happened with Russell Wilson? And I'm raising my hand because I said, let him cook. Well, he cooked, he burned some food, and then it was like, get your butt out the kitchen. Let's get somebody else back up in here to help you maneuver this food because it's a little too much for you right now. And that's what I see in Dallas. He would still have to do arguably too much, and he hasn't proven that he's capable of bearing that type of load.
Gee, this is simple. We know that Russell Wilson is a transcendent quarterback. I don't mean transcendent as far as talent. I mean, there are about 3 to 4 quarterbacks in the NFL that, regardless of what goes on around them in the game, you can still trust them to get the job done. Meaning Russell Wilson had historically the worst defense in the National Football League early on. It was Seahawks and Cowboys. Both defenses were atrocious. Agreed. But the Seahawks started off 5-0. You know this. You're an NFL analyst. You were doing color analyst for these games. But the Seahawks started off 5-0. And the Cowboys and Dak Prescott were, I believe, 1-3. And then he gets hurt, and Andy Dalton comes in to save the day. They start off 2-3. Same defensive woes. Offensive lines, both of them were terrible. But one Russell Wilson, who can transcend all the mud and all the muck, he made his team better. Dak Prescott, he's great. He's good. But he's not doing the same transcendent things. Now, I'm going to end by reminding you all the situation. The 4 or 5 years prior to Dak Prescott joining the Cowboys, 8 wins, 12 wins, started off 3-1 with Tony Romo, and then they sputtered and only won 4 games. Remember, started off 3-1 with Tony Romo.
Not so good.
They had 12 wins with Tony Romo the year prior.
4.
Now, let's talk about Russell Wilson's team. Seahawks, 4 years prior to Russell Wilson showing up, 4 wins. 5 wins, 5 wins, 7 wins. It's not even the same, G. Dak showed up to a team that was ready and primed. Russell Wilson showed up to a team that had about 9 wins combined. And Russell Wilson made some noise instantly in a much harder place to win. It's not a conversation or a competition.
Wow.
So you can talk to yourself. Take me off the screen. I want to see.
Oh, no, I want to keep you on the screen. Because you just told me how Dak walked into a 4-12 team and made them 13-3, but then you want to go to the year before that and talk about, they weren't that. And look, it makes no sense. All right. You know, I'm going to let that live. You know why? Because Deshaun Watson walked onto a team the 4 years prior, 29-27, 2 playoff appearances. Since Deshaun's been there, 29-27, 2 playoff appearances. Deshaun is not a top 5 quarterback. Make it make sense, Acho. Every time you try to lie, you got to lie again to make it make sense. No lies told. Sentiment's changing. I get it. It depends on who it is. Oh, we're talking about the same Russell Wilson that lost in the wild card round, but he going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, he going to be in the NFC Championship round. He lost in the wild card round to a team that had a quarterback so bad, they shipped him away. Russell Wilson, you trying to tell me you went 40% in completion percentage to a team that had a quarterback they ain't even want, and you couldn't beat them, but let them go to Dallas. Everything's going to change. Boy, stop lying. Acho will have you out there thinking different, because Acho going to solve racism, but he ain't going to solve the Cowboys' problems with no damn Russell Wilson. I got these nuggets for you right here.
More important, though.
Russell Wilson wants to be protected better. Cowboys allowed the 7th most sacks in the NFL last season, only 4 fewer sacks than Seattle. Russell Wilson wants to be more aggressive. Cowboys average more rushing attempts per game than even the Seahawks last year. Russell Wilson says, I can win without a good defense. Good luck with that. Cowboys had the number 28 scoring defense. No, you can't, because let Russ cook. Stop cooking because of Russell Wilson and his lack of performance. All of that added up, stay still, Russell Wilson, and do better in your kitchen. Coming up, the Nets are the hottest team in the NBA. But we'll tell you if that means they're the best right now. Next, don't speak for yourself. I got even more nuggets. Sunday, the best season ever, continues as the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Homestead Miami Speedway for the Dixie Vodka 400. See who will rise up and take the crown at the season's first mile and a half track. All the action starts Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on Fox, anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Fox Bet Super 6 and Clint Boyer are giving away more free cash this weekend. Download the free Fox Bet Super 6 app and enter Clint's Stage 2 contest for your chance to win a $10,000 guaranteed prize. All you need to do is answer 6 questions about Stage 2 of Sunday's Cup Series race for your chance to win. Vroom, vroom. Let's move to the NBA, where the Nets are the hottest team in the NBA, winning their 8th straight game last night. James Harden and Kyrie Irving combined for 47 points to help blow out the Magic. Most of the Nets streak has been without Kevin Durant, who has missed 6 straight games, but he's expected to be back before the All-Star break. Joined now by Fox NBA analyst Slick Rick the Bucher, but Acho. Are the Nets the best team in the NBA right now?
No, sir, they're not. And the lazy narrative is obviously to say yes. But as the youngest statesman in this current 3-box that I'm looking at, every now and then I have to take the responsibility of reminding you all of your roots. And Sale is Black History Month, so I think we still have
the 28th,
like
29th, 30th?
Chill.
Okay.
Savor the moment.
All right.
Slick, endure. It's Black History Month, fellas, and I realized that you know what came before hip-hop, Marcellus Wiley, and hip-hop, which originated in the Bronx. You know what came before that?
What?
The Utah Jazz. So you know what came before the Brooklyn Nets, and it's not really the Utah Jazz, it's more so just jazz music. So what came before the Nets, Marcellus Wiley, has to be, sir, the Utah Jazz. And what's so beautiful, Sal, is like on paper, the lazy narrative, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, oh my God, yeah, they have to be the best team in the league. They've won 8 straight. But Sal, need I remind you what Utah is doing?
What they doing?
Hitting threes at a historic pace. Blowing teams out at a historic pace. The Utah Jazz are on pace to have more wins by 20 points than any team in NBA history. They got 6 scorers averaging double figures. Number 2 in defensive rating, but also being number 3 in offensive rating. I understand it's easy, it's fun, it's lazy, if you will, to just love the Brooklyn Nets. Just like it's easy, fun, and lazy, if you will, to think that hip-hop came first. But before hip-hop came jazz, and before Brooklyn comes the Jazz.
Oh, boo. Boo. Get him, Slick Rick. Please get him.
You agree?
I can't get him. I agree with him.
Let's go.
It's no. And I think the most important 2 words in that question are right now.
Right here.
Right now. Are the Nets the best team in the NBA right now? It's the standings say no. The net ratings say no.
And what else say no?
And history says
say no.
Hell no. The Jazz have the best record overall. The Nets don't even have the best record in the Eastern Conference or the best winning percentage. Net rating, we got the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference, and 13 other teams, according to Basketball Reference, have a better overall net rating than the Brooklyn Nets. And history tells us that when you play defense, as mediocre as the Nets play defense, that you can't possibly be the best team, and that's not both right now and later. So I don't know where you're possibly going to go, Celis, unless it's going to be, well, you know, the Nets are winning a lot, and they're doing that without KD, so you add him. And as a guy who believes in numbers and considers himself a nerd, that is just storybook time to go with that type of logic.
Hey, watch your mouth, man. I consider myself a nerd, not you, mother. All right,
yes, I mean, you're the nerd. You can't be telling me nerds. KD plus the current Nets makes them the best team.
Hey, man, Slick Rick, you hurt me. You hit me where it hurts. Right there in my calculator where I keep right here in this pocket square. But damn it. Okay, let me look at my calculator right here.
Good luck.
Let me type in, what'd you say, Utah Jazz? Utah Jazz versus Brooklyn Nets. Let me see. Oh, 130-96 without James Harden. Did they play each other already? Oh, yes, they did. Y'all want to come up here and talk about hip-hop music and jazz music. Y'all bet
you're going to that game.
Boy, hey, I'm just going to when y'all faced each other. My bad. Let's talk about what's going on in Brooklyn. And I warned y'all. I told y'all from day one when they said they were going to form this big boy band. I said, this is going to be a problem right here. This is going to be a greatest hits album, and it's just going to happen every single time they hit the court. And it has happened. Y'all some basketball players. I know both of you guys well. Y'all played the sport better than me. I'm one of the worst basketball players ever. But I have ventured a time or two to Venice Beach, you know, to get a little run because I'm 6'4". You know, I got a muscle or two. I'm going to get drafted pretty early. They don't know how sorry I am. And you know what's funny about it? If I ever showed up at Venice Beach and saw James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, you know what they would say? We snake drafted. They can't play on the same team. That ain't right. And you know why we snake draft? So you don't have 3 all-stars on the same team. I asked you guys, any other team out there in the NBA have 3 all-stars? No. Didn't think so. Let's talk about defense, because this is the Achilles heel of this team, at least the narrative. Everyone wants to say they're not playing defense, even though they don't really need to. They're going to just outscore you. Let's talk about last night in the defense they put on the Orlando Magic, who shot just 40% overall and 9 from 36 from three-point range. As Steve Nash said post-game, our energy, our connectivity is unmatched right now. We are surging at the right time without Kevin Durant. I warned you guys. I told y'all I have passes to Coachella, performers backstage passes. And y'all told me, let me check in and see what I'm doing that weekend. Y'all should have showed up to the party when I told you it was going to be formed. This is a wrap, y'all. They coming out the East. And if my Clippers could come out the West, good luck to my Clippers. But certainly no other team out there is right now stacked even to deal with these boys.
Marcellus, you remember the Atlanta Hawks? Not too long ago. Remember them?
I do. What happened?
You do.
What?
How many championships do they have?
Donut, 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What? You know how many All-Stars they had one year when they had the best record in the league?
What you talking about, Willis?
The Joe Johnson year?
They had 4 All-Stars. 4 All-Stars.
Were they previous MVPs? Were they previous MVPs?
Winning them a championship?
Were they
MVPs? Championship. All-Stars doesn't equate.
Were they
MVPs? Is that Dartmouth greater than Columbia? Is that the equation? Is that Dartmouth greater than Go ahead.
Here's the other thing.
What?
You're talking. I knew you were going to go to Orlando. You saw me smiling when you mentioned Orlando and last night's game. You're like, did you see what they did to Orlando?
They did.
You talk about defense. You know who has the worst offense, the worst offensive rating in the entire league? That would be the Orlando Magic. Go look on this 8-game winning streak, the teams that they've played. There's only one team with a top 6 offense that they played, and that was the Los Angeles Clippers, a game that they would have lost if they weren't calling flops and
ifs,
goofy stuff when it comes to officiating the game.
You wanted to curse.
All that said, this idea that they are the best because they have that star power, we've seen plenty of teams with star power that weren't able to ultimately put it together because they couldn't do it at both ends of the floor. And you mentioned Steve Nash, and you mentioned that coaching staff. I mean, the idea that that coaching staff is going to get them to being the best now or later is still a huge question mark. But I'm just looking at the numbers, Marcellus. I look across the board, and The Nets, I may be calling you to get into the club. I may be. There's that chance. I'm not dismissing that.
Not at all.
But as of right now, I don't need to get in.
Man, you trying to talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Try to go ATL on me on this Black History Month. That ain't gonna work. You know why? Because I don't want to hear a comparison of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden versus their all-stars of Al Horford, Jeff Teague, Paul Millsap, and Kyle Korver. You trying to tell me these things are the same? Were they former MVPs? Hell no. I'm talking about the Nets that beat the Bucks, that beat the Heat, that beat the Clippers, that beat the Lakers, and that smashed the Jazz. I'm telling y'all, I'm at Coachella. Holler when y'all pull up. Coming up, Deshaun Watson wants out, but the Texans are not having it. We'll tell you how this saga will play out next on Speak for Yourself. Y'all over here.
Jared Allen.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson told the Texans' new head coach, David Culley, that he is not changing his trade demand. He won't out of there. That's according to reports. Teams have left voicemails with trade offers, but by all accounts, Houston has no intention of moving him. The latest report says it's possible Watson will not show up for preseason and regular season games if he's not traded, since the relationship is, quote, too far gone right now. That sounds like a song, Too Far Gone.
Yeah, it does. Sound like a flop, too, if it's Deshaun's song. Keep going. It ain't gonna work, dog.
So Marcellus, how's the Watson saga gonna play out?
Like that song you just was trying to build, like you were trying to compose. I'm sorry, Deshaun, it ain't gonna work, bro. You don't have the ammo, you don't have the hammer, you don't have the ammunition. You signed that away to get the $156 million extension. I love you, but you're not going anywhere. Treadmill time. Deshaun is going in. You know what? It's 1:43. You know what? I'm tired of this show. I'm out. And you imagine if I really tried to leave, what would happen to you and me and we if I tried to leave after committing to just doing my job? You can't leave 4 months after you just signed that type of deal. And I remind you, if you think you can leave, just answer these questions in terms of, are you ready to pull out the gun and fire? Losing $2 million in the preseason and camp alone. Are you ready to do that, Deshaun? You ready to write that $2 million check after you were smiling after signing that deal? Okay. Are you ready every single week? Acho, I need you to look at me. Chinatu, look at me. $617,647 a week. I want you to put that in your hand, all cash, not a check, because a check, you don't feel it the same.
You don't.
All cash, all ones, Floyd Mayweather style, and then get a lighter. 1 week. Next week, 617, light it. He has to do that all year long. And if he gives up the $2 million in preseason, 617, totaling 10.5 for the entire year, so he's at 12.5. You know what happens then? He still doesn't want to play? The contract freezes. Damn. And he has to do this all over again. Is he ready to do that? Or is he ready to be on that treadmill still woofing? I say he's going to stay on that treadmill.
Sal, I think the saga will end with a breakup. It's just, how do y'all want to break up? Y'all want it to be a bad breakup? Or are we okay with kind of a more mutually agreed upon peaceful breakup? We see it all the time in Hollywood, Sal. Sometimes the relationships end terribly, publicly, spats. They throw the clothes outside the window. What happened to my clothes, baby? That's how some end. But then other times it's just amicable. Like, hey, let's go to dinner.
You're right.
Let's say grace. Hey, we had a great time together, but it's just not meant to work out together. The Texans and Deshaun are going to break up. And how do we know they're going to break up? Because Deshaun's made up his mind, Sal. When a dude want to do that, when they make up their minds, that's it. Like, I'm not going back. He saw the head coach face to face, looked at him in his eyes, looked at him in his heart.
He looked at him through the computer screen. It was virtual. You know damn well they ain't mean face to face, man to man.
Hey, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Okay, you're right.
He saw the head coach face to face and he said, hey, I'm good here. I'm done. My time is done. I'm spent. Ain't no way he's coming back. He's told the world. He's told the owners. He's told the team. That's it.
Man, look, it's a different level of courage to tell somebody face-to-face something you can go screen to screen. You call me right now FaceTime, I'm woofing. Hey, man, I ain't doing none of that. If you come right here, I'm like, what you need? It's a big difference. This vague tweeting. That vague tweeting ain't going to get him out that contract. Cal McNair, have you seen Cal McNair? Just doesn't look like the type that budges on much. Y'all got to work this out because right now, I don't see him leaving. Coming up, LeBron's former teammate Brandon Ingram is causing a frenzy with a recent comment. We'll tell you if he's taking shots at the king. He better not miss. Next on Speak for Yourself. Welcome back. Pelicans forward Brandon Ingram was asked about his teammate and recent All-Star selection Zion Williamson and said, quote, I've never played with a player as talented as me. He's a generational talent. Well, that made people scratch their heads since Ingram was once a teammate of LeBron James for a season with the Lakers before he was part of the huge deal for Anthony Davis. So Acho, is Brandon Ingram taking a shot at LeBron?
Big dog, he's trying to take a shot, but remember, a shot only matters depending upon who the hand the weapon is in. Right? Like Brandon Ingram, as I look at it, you can't take a shot at LeBron and expect it to land. It's like shooting a super soaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, Sal. Brandon Ingram won most improved player. That means you have to really improve. LeBron James wins most valuable.
I hate when you do that little chuckle. I hate that. You going in. Okay.
If you win most improved player, that just means you hadn't maximized your previous potential. How can the most improved talk to the most valuable? I don't have anything to say. The most improved can't shoot at the most valuable and expect it to land. So it was an attempted shot, but shoot me with a super soaker. You're just going to cool me off.
You over there. Look, one, I don't care what the caliber of gun is. If it's a gun, it could hurt and it could damage. It ain't going to kill LeBron, but he is taking a shot. And it's a good shot because I don't forget any of my great teammates. I remember the great teammates and the sorry-ass teammates.
That's true.
Like, everybody in the middle, y'all got to make some noise. Like, I don't remember.
Real.
Hell yeah, I remember.
The sorriest ones, yes.
Yes, because they were practice putty. I was like, yeah, I need him. Come here. Anyway, yeah, Brandon Ingram's taking a shot, but I understand why he's taking the shot. Because he didn't see LeBron James at his peak powers. Remember, Brandon Ingram was there.
Right, that's real.
They didn't make the playoffs.
That's real.
LeBron breaking down, and he like, this the king? And then I'm a part of a trade when I know I got these buckets in me, but because you and your presence and you breaking down that I can't fully blossom, okay. Now I'm with somebody who we gonna grow together with. And in that situation, I think the shot was at LeBron James, intentional, because you don't forget you played with LeBron James.
Of course.
You just didn't see him at his greatest. So a shot, and I think he hit LeBron. LeBron could deal with the wound, but it hit him.
But it's almost like, Sel, when people say things that are so utterly ridiculous, I don't even take it into any account.
That's fact.
Right? Like, if somebody's on social media and starts clowning me, it's like, Acho, you look terrible. I was just like, oh, that wasn't serious.
You don't think you look
nah,
terrible?
Like, that can't count.
Well, I'm cute.
It's like, Sel, if I was about to be like, Marcellus, you broke. That's not a shot.
Yeah,
It's so far-fetched that it's not going to land.
Nah, I got a
if
couple
you're
dollars.
talking about LeBron James and trying to say that, first, Brandon Ingram was like, I don't think I've ever played with anybody as talented as me. Stop. And then to say that Zion is the one that you consider more talented, just this year, Sel.
What?
LeBron averages 25, 8, and 8. Zion averages 25, 6, and 8. Ingram averages 24, 5, and 3. Like, LeBron in his 18th year in the league is still better than you, the author, and who you are writing about in his 18th year. It was a shot, maybe, but it's too far-fetched to make noise.
Okay, but don't we in life measure your greatness through your success? I'm going to say it again. You measure your greatness through your success. And when you're at this point, you start to look around and say, this is when it's best for me. This is when it's greatest for me. And who's there with me? I say it like this. This is the best I ever felt doing this show. That's no shot at all my other co-hosts as much as this show is doing well.
You always say you love Max.
I do. I actually like him more than you, but, I don't want to mess with your contract. So I like Carissa more than you. I like Carrie more than you.
Chill.
Whitlock got you on most days.
You're lying.
See, that's the point. So that didn't hit you. So here's the thing. You walk right into it. Thank you. All right, all I got to say is Brandon Ingram is feeling himself right now. So guess what? He looks around and says, LeBron ain't here. This is my greatest teammate, Zion Williamson. It was an intentional shot. We're having two different conversations. He tried to shoot LeBron. That he caught the bullet. LeBron like, back at you. But don't act like he didn't try to shoot.
In all seriousness, though, you like me the best, right?
It's early.
I can understand, like, who else you name first? Like,
Who I started with?
Yeah.
Oh, man, let me go. Michelle
Max is
Beadle,
cool.
Carissa,
Carissa's cool.
Max Kellerman, Whitlock.
no, see, you're doing too much. I'll give you Carissa, and I'll give you Max.
And that's it?
That's it.
Oh, man. What about Uncle Jimmy? Because he wants to end this week talking about Deshaun Watson. That's up next. And I want you to rank my co-host, too. Speak for yourself. Before we go, we've had a lot to say about Deshaun Watson today. Now it's Uncle Jimmy's turn. Oh, is Deshaun's trade demand a bad look?
Is it a bad look for a barber to look like he need a barber? Is it a bad look to be a snaggletooth dentist?
Yeah.
Is it a bad look to see Emmanuel Acho in child support court?
Terrible.
Hell yeah, it's a bad look.
That ain't gonna work.
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. That's how I feel about Deshaun Watson and a whole bunch of these little young athletes. Because they all say the same thing.
What'd they say?
They all say that they want to be treated with respect and they want to be treated like a man. Now, you do realize that most of these athletes ain't been raised by no man. So how in the hell they gonna know how to act like a man?
It got real.
See, I thought a man, if he put his name on a contract, that was all he needed to do. Show up and go to work. What Tony Montana say? A man ain't got but two things in this world. His work and his bond. Deshaun Watson mad at his boss for writing him a check for $156 million. And the only thing he can find to complain about is he lied to me. Man, if you don't grow the hell up. Hey, what'd you say, Wally? Don't let a broken promise compromise what you are. Hey, man, a fool and his money will soon depart. Don't be no damn fool. Get your ass to work.
He said he lied to me. Mama, Fox Man Live is next.